Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Buckle up, we're getting ready for takeoff. Today, we're flying into the territory of school shootings. Yes, that's our destination today. So that's where we're heading. As you know, there was a school shooting recently. You can get all the details in your local news. I'm not going to go over any of the details of what happened. You can read it in your local newspaper, on your local news. I'm not going to repeat what they've already said. So in this video, I'm going to be commenting on the comments that people are leaving on Facebook. Our local news channel, KY3, made a post about this on Facebook. So what we're going to do in this video is comment on the comments. Yeah, we're going to do something a little differently. I just feel I had something to say about this. So what happened was, now you may not like my opinion, and that's fine. What happened was some kid killed 4 people. 4 people lost their lives. My heart and condolences go to the families of the victims. We should keep them in our prayers, pray for them, and my condolences go out to them. It's never a good thing to lose a loved one. It's very bad. I'm not here to talk about guns or evil. I'm not here to talk about the number 2 either. The topic today, my focus will be the comments that people are commenting. I'm going to comment on the comments. That's what we're going to do. Just something a little different. Because there's plenty of comments, but it's plenty of material for me to work with. So the latest development is, and this kid looks familiar. I know someone who looks just like him. And that's sad. I feel bad for anyone who kind of resembles him because I just do. But what happened was they charged the kid's dad in this crime. Now, from my understanding, here's what the commenter said. I guess this is why they're charging the dad. We're going to get into, should parents be responsible for their kids? Yes and no. That's my answer. I know that sounds confusing, but hear me out. So this person commented. That's the first comment, all right? Normally, I would disagree with this, but in this case, the kid threatened last year to shoot up the school. Ooh, yeah. He actually threatened it. So why didn't anybody take action? And Dad thought it would be a good idea to buy him a gun for Christmas. That was dumb. It was dumb. And I guess in this instance, it's dumb. Right? After the kid made the threats. After he made the threats. So, I don't know if Daddy was aware that the kid made threats. We don't know. Was Daddy aware of it? I don't know. Parents are not always aware of everything their teenage kids do. That's what I'm saying. So we're going to charge the dad in this crime. Now let's pretend for a minute that he did know and he bought the gun anyway. Maybe he didn't think his kid would actually carry it out, because kids saying stupid shit all the time. They're teenagers. They're young. They're stupid. They haven't had a chance to grow up and become mature adults yet. But I want you to think about this for a second. I've had time to step back, and reflect on what's happening here. So we're going to hold the parents accountable for the actions of their children. That's what we're going to do to this guy. Now, it's a little extreme. Let's say this guy knew this kid made a threat, but he bought him a gun anyway. Like, here you go. Go ahead and do what you said you were going to do. It's like you're aiding and abetting, right? So I kind of get why they're charging the dad. but we might be setting a bad precedent. Now, hear me out. Please hear me out. Now, most of you out there I know are awesome parents, and you have awesome kids. That's most of you, right? You do the best you can to be the best mom, best dad you can be. No matter how good you can be, you can still have rebellious kids to do stupid shit. What if it's your son or your daughter? Let's say they got behind the wheel of a car. Now, you know your kid's bad on the phone, right? They text and drive, right? Should you be giving your daughter a car if you know she's going to text and drive and possibly kill somebody? She didn't say she would. But think about that. Your son, your daughter is texting and driving. They get behind the wheel of a car, they text and drive and kill somebody. Possibly somebody with a couple of kids. And those kids die because your child was texting and driving. And you know people text and drive all the time. So hear me out. This is what I'm setting this up. So the police come to your door and arrest you because your son, your daughter was texting and driving. Now your life is destroyed. You did the best you could as a parent. You did everything right? You made all the right moves. But now you're going to go to prison because your son, your daughter was texting and driving and they killed somebody. There doesn't necessarily have to be kids in the car. Well, let's just add that to it. There's a couple of kids and they got killed too. Now what? Got a couple of, or one of the kids survives. Now they're parentless. They're ended up in a foster home. So you, the parent, get charged for something your son or your daughter did. Think about that. That's the precedent we're setting. Should parents be held accountable for everything their kids do? Like I said, the answer is both yes and no. Because you can still be good parents, but your children are still going to be rebellious. And they're still going to do stupid shit. Like texting and driving. Getting caught with drugs, shoplifting. Texting and driving is probably the more common one. I'm just saying. I want you to think about that. Comment below. What do you think about this situation and this parent? What should be done? And what should be done so we don't want to set precedent because you are a parent. Do you want to pay for your kids' bills? How about that? Your kid could rack up a credit card bill and you are held accountable. But after your kid turns 18, why should you be held accountable for their hospital credit card bills and everything else? Because that's the precedent we're setting. Well, you're the parents. We're going to hold you accountable. Your daughter racked up $20,000 or your son racked up $20,000 in student loans, credit card bills. Do you want to pay all your child's bills? What if the credit companies came after you for everything your children did or your grandchildren? Oh, that's your granddaughter, so you get to pay your granddaughter's bills. I want you to think about that for a second. Let's get back into the comments. Okay, this person says, it's about time parents are held accountable. I want you to think about what he just said. Yes, parents should be accountable, but to a point. Your children are still going to do stupid shit. View more comments. Let's view more comments. Okay. Okay, this person says, he needs to be charged as an adult if kids are old enough at 12 or younger to decide what gender they are or what pronoun to be called. Then he is adult enough to be charged as an adult. Good point. If they're old enough to decide their gender, their pronouns, that's adult things, right? They should be charged as an adult, right? Okay. I kind of agree with that one. I'll go with that. The sword cuts both ways, right? Good parents need to be held responsible. To what point? We're pushing this agenda, and I want everyone out there to stop and think about what is really happening here. What if it's your son or your daughter? Like I said, I want you to stop and reflect on the precedent we're setting. We're going gung-ho because our emotions are running high. But that could be your son, your daughter. Not necessarily a school shooting, but texting and driving. Involuntary manslaughter. Would you like to go to prison for that? Just saying. Okay. The parents knew their son had threatened the school the previous year with gun violence and still thought buying him a firearm for Christmas was a good idea. I'm not following why the parents shouldn't be held accountable for that bad decision. Again, in this situation, in this instance, yes, I can see where you're coming from. That was a bad idea for the kid's parents to buy them a firearm knowing what he did. That's not being a responsible parent at all. Maybe they thought their kid had gotten better, had grown up, had changed his ways, gotten over it. But still, the idea that he even threatened to do such a violent thing, it's not a smart idea. I agree with most of you people out there. It was just bad. So on some level, yeah, the parents need to be held accountable for this. I get it. But let's not set a dangerous precedent to what if that's your son or your daughter? What if they texted and drove and killed somebody? I just, like I said, I can't repeat that enough. I just want you to think about the precedent you're setting here. Now, something needs to be done to this kid's parents. Yes, I agree. On some level, I don't know what. Maybe there's nothing we can do. It was a bad idea, but what are you going to do? Without setting precedent against all parents. Because once you set precedents, once that judge has it, this thing could go too far to the other way. You're going gung-ho, let's go get these bad parents, this bad father. It's going to come back and bite you in the ass. It's going to bite a lot of Americans in the ass. You're just not thinking this through. All right. You arrest the father saying he knowingly allowed him to have the pew-pew. Yet the police that questioned him and the father back in May also knew he had it and that it was a Christmas gift the year before. Why was it not dealt with then, when they had the youth marked as a threat? Seems the fault would fall on more than just the dad here. Yeah, there's several things going on here. Like I said, we're responding to the comments. You arrest the father saying he knowingly allowed him to have the pew-pew. Yet the police that questioned him and the father back in May also knew he had it and that it was a Christmas gift the year before. Now, wait a minute. A Christmas gift the year before. So it was a Christmas gift before the kid made the threat? I'm not following here. Why was it not dealt with then when they had the youth marked as a threat? Yeah, it's a good question. So please comment below. Exactly what date did the dad give the firearm to his son? On what date did his son make the threat? Because that's important. Now, if he had given this kid a firearm before he made the threat, then the dad had no idea. He didn't think his kid was that stupid. But then his kid made a threat. But he already had the firearm. Maybe daddy didn't think he'd carry it through. Kids do rebellious things all the time. That's what I'm saying. Kids do stupid stuff. Listen, moms and dads, do you want to be held accountable for all the stupid shit your kids do? You want to pay all their credit card bills? Suppose these credit companies come back on you. Just saying. I want you to think about the precedent you may be setting. Good, they need to be held accountable too. Good, he should be. Skip the trial and put them in the worst prison we have. This kid's young. He should be punished for his crimes, yes. But I think maybe a few years from now, he should have a second chance at life. I don't know. Maybe we should set precedent saying, look, this kid gets locked up for 4 people dead, so he's probably going to go to prison for the rest of his life. Never going to get a second chance to redeem himself and try to live a normal life at any point. That's sad. Kid's got a whole life ahead of him. Now it's being taken from him. But he committed the crime. You do the crime, you do the time. I get it. When I went to school, every pickup had a gun in. Then I even took a shotgun to school on school bus and put it in my locker. Took another bus to my friend's house to hunt quail, back to school and back home. No, even when I was growing up, you don't bring a handgun on a school bus. Now, you can have a rifle hanging in your truck, in your four-wheel drive truck, but no, you don't bring handguns on a school bus. That's a no-no in any generation. So what this guy is saying is, even took a shotgun to school on school bus and put it in my locker. On school bus? I don't think so. No. Now, even when I was a kid, that's a no-no. Now, you can hang a shotgun in your pickup truck. You see these gun racks in the trucks, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, back in the day, not unusual for trucks to be in school parking lot with guns and gun rack. Exactly. Especially a small country town like this. That's exactly the point that I was getting across here. Let's see. Poor kid. I'm sure he was teased a lot. See, there's another thing. Poor kid, I'm sure he was teased a lot. So what led up to his doing what he did? I may have to make a separate video on that. This video is just meant to comment on the comments. That's what we're doing. You want all the details, you need to pick up your local newspaper, watch your local news, because I'm not going to repeat everything you've already read or heard. I'm here to respond to the comments. Tell you something you haven't heard. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But that's what we're doing. Poor kid. I'm sure he was teased a lot. He looks so feminine. Yeah, I've got a picture right here. I'm sure you've already had pictures of him. All you parents who are blaming the parents, share the blame. If you have not taught your child to respect others and never make fun of other children, never let them hear you making fun of someone either. Don't think I'm excusing him for what he did. I'm not excusing him for what he did. Okay, let me see if I can reread that. Let's see if we can't get them. It says, all you parents who are blaming the parents share the blame. If you have not taught your child to respect others and never, never make fun of other children, I'm sorry. Children are going to be children. They're going to make fun of each other. Now, you should teach them not to, but they're still going to do it anyway. They'll do it in other ways. Never let them hear you making fun of someone either. We're human. We can preach all we want, but we're still going to discriminate. We're still going to talk smack about somebody. People do it all the time. I mean, that's life. We can preach kumbaya, but that's not reality. Reality is kids are going to be kids. They're going to laugh at each other. They're going to have the cool kids table. They're going to ostracize others as outsiders. It doesn't take long to know you've been ostracized. I mean, for instance, you're not invited to the cool parties. Someone's having a birthday. You didn't get invited. This happens a lot. Think about that. What if this kid's an incel? What if he couldn't get a girlfriend, can't get laid? Maybe he's jealous. We don't know what led up to why he did what he did. There's lots of factors to consider here. He just got angry at some point. There's a lot of factors. I mean, what about the kids' music? Some of the music I'm hearing is so angry. And they listen to this, I call it angry music. Just the lyrics, I mean, it's rebellion. It's not just rebellion, it's anger. Total anger. Anger at society. They just fill you full of hate, fill you full of anger. Some of your rock music does that. I've heard some of it. It's very toxic between the music he listens to, the movies he watches, or the chat rooms he's in online. If you want to call them chat rooms, there's a community. Okay? Whether it's a gaming community or whatever. Whether it's 4chan, Reddit, he's posting somewhere. There's a community he's communicating with. And he's going down an echo chamber. And I don't know why he did what he did. But suppose he went down this echo chamber and he's convinced that the world's against him. He's convinced there's no hope. He's convinced he can't get a date with a beautiful girl. He's totally convinced because of the echo chamber he went down. It's not just the parents you want to blame. What about the music and the movies, the books he's reading, the chat rooms he's in? If you want to call them chat rooms, I don't know why you use that term. Or echo chamber, Reddit, whatever community he's going down. He's got filled with such toxic. He's being rejected. He can't sit at the cool kids table. Doesn't get invited to the parties. And the girls don't talk to him. Especially the girls he's interested in. That are probably out of his league. I'm just trying to make some statements. I'm just trying to get everybody to think here. This is a very serious topic. This is very sad and angering. Okay, I had a friend of mine who said there have been multiple school shootings this year. This is the one you're hearing about. But we've had school shootings, mass shootings that go on all the time. This is life. It's kind of like the Aurora situation. You heard about the Venezuelan gangs, right? What you need to know is those apartments were already impoverished. They were in the ghetto, in a very poor Venezuelan neighborhood. Yes, it was a Venezuelan neighborhood. Most of the apartments were rented by Venezuelans to begin with. And when you have extreme poverty, you're going to have crime, drugs, and gangs. That's life. Look at Chicago. Look at some parts of New York. We have a ghetto in Springfield, Missouri. Ghettos, you're going to find crime, drugs, gangs. That's life. So when I heard, the Venezuelan gangs are taking over, no, they're not. Nah. What's happening there is just part of life, part of what's been happening. It's a gang-ridden territory to begin with, where they're shaking down the tenants for rent. Gangs have always shaken people down, whether they're tenants, whether they're local business owners, for protection money. That's not a new thing. Why does everybody act like it's new? It's not. I'm just saying. Let's see. What other comments? He should be, I guess they mean locked up for life. The parents and the FBI knew this kid was going to do this, and neither did anything to prevent it. Good point. The FBI knew about it and did nothing to prevent it. That's a good point. Did the father pull the trigger, or are they charging him punitively because he purchased a gun legally for his son that the kid later used to commit a crime? Unless he had direct involvement with the shooting, this is just a punitive prosecution of a gun owner. I agree. But it depends on when he purchased the gun. Now, did the father purchase the gun did he purchase this gun after the kid made the threat, knowing his kid made those kind of threats? Then that's irresponsible. That's not responsible parenting. Now, if he had purchased the gun before his kid made the threat, not knowing what his son was going through, maybe the father needed to, spend more time with his kid. I don't know. His kid was going through something, and maybe dad's not listening. I don't know. You can be the best parent in the world and still have a rebellious teenager that can get behind the wheel of a car, text and drive, and you go to jail for something they did. Just stop and think about that for a second. That's all I'm saying. I want you to think about that. Let's see the replies to this. Unless he had a direct... Like I said, I don't know all the details. It depends on when he purchased the gun. It's like purchasing an automobile for your son or daughter that's not fully experienced enough to handle getting behind the wheel of a car. Are they responsible enough to get behind the wheel of a car without texting and driving and killing somebody? Because that's the common thing. More so than drinking and driving. People always text and drive all the time. I'm just using that as an example of something that can go very wrong very quickly. Is this excuse really? Parent is responsible for minor children, period. Yes and no. Again, you can be the best parent in the world and still have rebellious kids. Do you want to be held responsible, accountable for everything your child does? That could be you. The article you're commenting on explains the basis for charging the father. You could just try reading before commenting. Like I said, I don't know the details. I didn't read it. I didn't read the article. I'm only reading the comments. Maybe I need to go back and read the article, but comment below. Because it is important. Did the father purchase the gun after the kid made the threat? If so, that's irresponsible. And the FBI not taking action is irresponsible on their behalf. Now, if he had purchased the gun before his kid made such a threat, then the father should have taken the gun away. Yes. Lock it up. Take the gun away from his kid. But his kid would have gotten access to a gun anyway, even if dad took the gun away, which is what he should have done after the kid made the let's say he purchased the gun before the kid made the threat. The kid makes the threat, dad needs to come in, take the gun away. I don't think you're responsible enough to have a gun. That's what daddy should have done. Period. No matter how you look at it, daddy is partly responsible. We need to do something about daddy without setting precedent on other parents for the stupid shit their kids do. That's what worries me, because on one hand, I say, yeah, let's punish the dad, but at the other hand, it's like my mom and dad, they're the best parents anyone could wish for, right? But I have an adoptive sister, and she is a very violent person, and my parents did everything right. I'm speaking from experience, personal experience. I have a sister we don't talk much about. She's adopted. She's actually my second cousin, and she turned out to be very, very violent. She hasn't killed anybody yet. We have reported her to the authorities. We took her to the Marion Center and said, this is what needs to be done. Hey, look, she's going to kill somebody. We told them that too. We told the authorities and the Marion Center, the people that, and that's the last we heard. The Marion Center's got all the info, and that's the last we heard. So I'm speaking from personal family experience, what we're going through in my family. I would not want my dad to be held accountable for something that my little sister went and did. If the Marion Center let her out and she goes and kills somebody, I don't want my dad held accountable. I don't want to be held accountable. That would, we did everything that we thought we could do. We did talk to the authorities. We took her to the Marion Center. Look, this is what's going on here. She's probably on all kinds of drugs. So I'm speaking from firsthand experience. So I don't know. I'm just saying, parents can do everything right, but still have. It's reminiscent of how Nazis did the Jews. Since the FBI and Sheriff's Department talked to the father about his son threatening people with violence, a responsible person will remove firearms from the house. Do not buy one for him. Exactly. You should remove the firearms, at least from the kid. He made the threat. Let's make sure he doesn't carry it out. I agree 100%. Stop showing his face. What a disgrace to his family. The sad part is I know someone that looks just like him. I do. I kid you not. I'm looking at his face. I'm going, I know someone that looks just like him. I feel bad for that person. Now he's really going to be ostracized because he's a lookalike. I kid you not. He could pass from being this guy's twin brother. That's the sad part, is I know someone that I see his face, oh my God, he looks familiar. Yeah, he does look like but he's a completely different person. Everybody's got a doppelganger, right? The only thing is, this guy's hair style is different, but view more comments. I think we're done reading comments. We're already up to 34 minutes. Way longer than I wanted to be. But we could go on and on. I should do an audio podcast on this. Because there I can just continue to comment on the comments. And comment below. like, comment, share, like, comment, subscribe. Every YouTuber says it. This is a serious topic. I wanted to do a YouTube video on a reaction video to The Price is Right. We're going to do that, I promise. I'll probably shoot it tomorrow night. Just for fun. Just to do something fun, non-serious topic. And just do something for fun. No politics, no... But every once in a while, we're going to do something serious. And tonight was a serious situation. So I commented on this as well, and I'm just saying, let's not set precedent here. Let's take a step back, take a deep breath, and think about what we're doing. Yes, I don't know all the details. I should probably read the article, but I've seen enough to know that, hey, the kid shouldn't have had a firearm. The moment he made the threat, Dad shouldn't have either bought it, or if he already had it, Dad should have taken it away. No matter how you look at it, Daddy should have taken action right away. Hey, my kid, he should have taken him to something like the Marion Center, got him some help, took his firearm away from him, and got the kid some help. Now, we don't know everything Daddy did. Maybe Dad did try to do the right thing. We don't know. Because the media is not telling us everything. But yeah, Dad should have taken the firearm away from his son and got him some psychiatric help. ASAP. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. I just don't want parents across America to be charged for something their irresponsible kids did. You can be the best parents in the world. My parents were the best ever. But I still got a little sister that went off and did her own thing. We have no control. She's an adult now. She's 30 years old, I think. But still, we did everything we could for her. She still turned out to be bad. I'm just from first-hand experience, my own family. We've got somebody in our family just like what this kid is, only she's an adult. Well, that's it for this video. I want to thank everybody for coming on board. I hope you enjoyed your flight. I'm sure we had a great trip. And I just want to thank everybody for listening this long. 38 minutes. I didn't mean to go on this long. I should do an audio, because that way I can go on longer. I can do a 2-hour podcast on this. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for watching. This is a very serious topic. Comment below. What do you know? What could be done? What can we do to not set precedents so you as a parent don't go to jail for something your kid did? Because teenagers are going to be teenagers, no matter what you do. Well, I got to let you go. We're almost up to 40 minutes, so thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.